Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Monday 5 Live, start of another week. Today, we are going to be talking about nutrition and immunity in today's world. And as usual, I talk about things that are happening in the world or in my world. The topics come up randomly depending on what I think is valid or important. And at the moment, Steve and I, as part of Jennings Holistic Health Coaching, are running some pretty great workshops. We're focusing on nutrition and immunity at the moment. We run a whole series of different workshops, but I want to talk about the nutrition and immunity one because it's very relevant for what's going on right now. Thanks to those of you who are tuning in. Thanks for watching. So corporate workshops are, this is for people who either run a business and have a staff base, or if you are a staff member and you work for a company or a business, and perhaps what I'm about to tell you might resonate with you, and you can pass this information on to the person who might be in charge of making these types of decisions when it comes to staff health and well-being. So this workshop we're running at the moment is all about nutrition and immunity, particularly relevant right now because of the whole COVID situation, but not only that, also because we are coming into the colder months where we have a lot of seasonal colds and flus. But obviously at the moment, especially around COVID, there's a lot of staff absences with self-isolation, and obviously people who are getting COVID and have to isolate and all that sort of thing. So we thought it would be a really good idea to put together a workshop that we can deliver to businesses so the staff are clear on how they can support their bodies and help themselves through this period of time, which is a little bit unprecedented, and we're all sort of having to figure out our best way through it. The workshop is broken down into two parts. The first part is all about immunity. I'm just going to run through really quickly what we cover so that you get an idea of what we're doing. I'm not going to go into depth because obviously that's covered in the workshop. So the immunity section is all about the triggers that weaken our immune system. And there's over 20 triggers. Like, it's quite an involved subject. And a lot of people sort of don't really understand why sickness and disease can take hold, and it's not necessarily the actual, well, the sickness is the cause, of course, but there are triggers that can make that sickness take hold in the body. So we talk about what those triggers are. Things like mold. If you're living in a house with mold in it, stress is a big trigger to weaken the immune system. Chemicals, physical injury, there's a whole list of them. So we go into all of that. We talk about COVID and our motto, which is don't be scared, be prepared. And this is all about, getting prepared for the fact that you'll probably catch it up at some point if you haven't already, and not to be scared of it, but how to prepare your body in the best possible way. So we talk about how COVID actually works in the body. We talk about what long COVID is, and this is an area of confusion, and there's a lot of misunderstanding and misleading information out there about what long COVID is. Types of foods that COVID loves. So in other words, the types of foods that you should probably avoid because the virus loves to feed on these types of foods, and also foods to include in your diet to help fight that disease. Things to do before and after your vaccines and your boosters to keep you safe. This is about preparing the body in the best possible way, getting that immune system strong. I have to mention here that there's a lot of misunderstanding around at the moment about vaccines and boosters and side effects and things like deaths and permanent disabilities and all those things. I'm not disputing that those things are happening, but we've just got to be a little bit careful and distinguish between triggers and causes. So there's a lot of blame being placed on vaccines at the moment and boosters as the cause of these side effects. In reality, it's more of a trigger. okay? There's a difference between a trigger and a cause. The cause is the underlying health issues that people have that may not have surfaced just yet. They may be lingering, they may be festering, and they may have appeared later in life, but the vaccines can trigger them. There's a very big difference between a trigger and a cause. I think it's just good to get that information clear so that people understand. And this is also where, we want to empower people to understand the difference so that they can prepare themselves the best possible way that they can by looking after their health. So we talk a little bit about that, the difference between triggers and causes. We also talk about advanced strategies on how to boost your immune system, which is really helpful. And then we go into the nutrition section, which is all about optimizing your nutrition to make sure that you can stay as healthy as possible through this time. So we talk about things like the problem with high fat diets. And I've talked about this in depth before. I've got a couple of videos on this if you want to go back and watch those. High fat diets are not the way to go when it comes to building up your immune system. They will weaken your immune system and they'll cause long-term problems. Things like why you shouldn't be afraid of fruit. Okay, fruit is so important when it comes to things like COVID, but also just general colds and flus. We've known this for centuries, and yet suddenly there's this modern day theory that fruit's bad for you. It's just very misleading and factually incorrect. Fruit is going to help build your immune system and keep you strong. The importance of hydration. The best approach to take if you do eat animal protein. What to be aware of when it comes to alcohol and caffeine. Fasting, the problem with fasting. And this is a really good topic, actually. It's very relevant. I put a post out last night about, there was this, the subject came up about fasting. And a lot of people think that fasting is very good for you, and that a lot of cultures do it and it's very beneficial. Yes, a lot of that is true. Fasting can be really beneficial. But the thing to be aware of is that if you have underlying health issues, if you're stressed, if your adrenal system is overwhelmed, it will actually cause more health issues because it weakens the immune system if you've got underlying issues. And this is what's not really widely understood. So we talk about fasting, who can fast and who shouldn't fast. Talk about great supplementation for COVID, but also for general flus and colds. All natural supplements, nothing crazy. We give out sample meal plans and things like that just for like over the course of a day of what you can eat. We teach people how to deal with social situations in terms of going out to cafes and restaurants and foods that they should be looking to avoid and things like that. Hey Chris, thanks for watching. So that's it in a nutshell. This is going to be a really quick one for a change. I usually go on and on for a long time, but this one's quick. So just talking about our nutrition and immunity workshops for staff, for corporate businesses, teaching people how to prepare themselves in the best possible way for not just COVID, but also for vaccines, for boosters, for seasonal colds and flus. The really cool thing about our workshops, and we do run a series of different workshops, nutrition and immunity is just one of them, and this is the one we're focusing on at the moment because it's relevant to this time of year and what's going on in the world right now. We also run other workshops on things like mental health, gut health, sleep, menopause. We've got a whole series, and how they work is that they are generally 60-minute workshops. We can do them on site, in person, but we can also do them by Zoom, which actually works really, really well because we can run them either during the day, during a normal work day, or we can run them in the evening. And what this means is that staff members can tune in the evening, but they can also bring their family members in as well, so they're getting more bang for their buck. And it's just a really great way of getting everyone involved. Like we're working with a real estate firm at the moment, which is a national firm, and what that means is that we can run workshops and people can tune in from all over the country. So it's a really effective way of getting these workshops into corporate environments. So again, if you run your own business, if you've got staff, who you think can benefit from the type of information that I've just talked about around nutrition and immunity, or if you are a staff member and you think that this sounds really good and it's something that your boss or your HR team or something might like to know about, then please let them know. Get in touch with me if you've got any questions. I can send you some more details. But yeah, that's it for today. Just talking about our corporate workshops that we are delivering. The feedback that comes in from our workshops is that they are very well received. Plenty of good information, useful information that people can use straight away to boost their health and well-being. So I'm going to leave it there for today, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you same place, same time next week. Have a great week, everyone. Bye.